Hi everyone, merhaba, this is Ayşenur Altan. In this episode we are making Turkish style mantı.
Mantı is a Turkish style dumpling and it's a traditional and trendy dish in Turkey loved by everyone. It may have originated in the Mongol Empire's territories and the Uyghur people of northwest China. The recipe was carried across Central Asia along the Silk Road to Anatolia by Turkic and Mongol peoples. Turk and Mongol horsemen on the move are supposed to have carried frozen or dried mantı, which you can quickly boil over a campfire. The first printed recipe book, Melceut Tabbahin, published in 1844, includes a Tatar böreği which is similar to mantı but served without garlic yogurt sauce.
Traditionally, Turkish mantı is very small, we make it very tiny. There is a saying that it is preferable to fit 40 mantı pieces in one spoon. I'm gonna try that. I made an experiment and tried it in different sizes. And for the vegetarians, I'm gonna also make one with spinach and it's gonna be delicious. Let's get started.
I have 2/3 of a cup water plus 1 teaspoon if needed, half teaspoon salt, 1 medium-sized egg, and 2.5 cups, about 350 grams all-purpose flour. The dough I will make is similar to pasta dough, and the difference from the other type is it's a stiff, not sticky dough. So this is probably one of the most crucial hints of the recipe, to have a stiff dough, not soft, to fill and seal it better. So don't add extra water first and make sure it comes together. And I just needed to add 1 teaspoon extra since it can change, depends on the flour, and it will become to a nice playable dough after 1-2 minutes of kneading. So here is the final look, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna cut the dough into 2 pieces and cover it with a stretch film after turning it into a disc, and let it rest for at least half an hour for easier rolling. If you are in the hot season, you can do that in the fridge too. Meanwhile, we're gonna prepare the filling. I have 250 grams ground beef, 1 medium-sized onion, some black pepper, red pepper flakes, and salt. First, I'm going to grate my onion from the small size of the grater. And another second hint, we're not gonna add the juice of the onion because it will make the filling too juicy and harder to fill the mantıs, so don't add it. Adding the ground beef and half teaspoon salt, and again half teaspoon each black pepper and red pepper flakes. Just mix everything well until it is combined and our meat filling is ready. And for the vegetarian version, I wanted to try to fill it with spinach. This is just sauteed spinach with onion and olive oil. I just wanted to make an extra flavor by adding white cheese peynir and mix it well with some seasoning, again red pepper flakes and black pepper. My dough has rested and I got the first one. Sprinkle good amount of flour over the countertop and begin to roll out. I'm using this extra heavy rolling pin. It's marble. Since I had it, I'm using it. It's optional, of course, but makes it easier to roll out since it is heavy. The dough doesn't need to be very thin. Actually, it needs to be more thicker, like 1 to 2 millimeter, I can say. And make sure it is not sticking to the countertop. You can use extra flour if needed and flip it over from time to time. And traditionally we also use oklava to roll out the dough, but since not all of you will not, gonna have it, I wanted to use only rolling pin. Now I'm gonna cut my dough into squares. I wanted to use a ruler for it to experiment and to show you more clearly. So first I'm gonna make my mantas with 2.5 centimeter squares. If you have pizza cutter, it will be easier to cut it. And just make the even squares like this. Next, I'm gonna place the filling. And we are ready to shape it. Make sure you dust plentifully with flour the tray you're gonna put the mantas and begin to shape. So this is how I do and we do traditionally. First you fold it like turning into rectangular shape. Seal it on top, bringing all the corners together. You might need to stuck the filling again. And if your dough is stiff enough, it will be easy to shape. If it is very soft, it might stick to your hand. So that's why the stiffness of the dough is very important at the first hand. You can dip your hand into flour from time to time and continue to shape it like so. My first batch is done and now I want to try how it's gonna look with 3 centimeter squares, so it will be easier to fill. First, you don't see much difference, it's just half centimeter, but when you close it, it is easier because you have more space. And this is how it looks compared to the smaller one. So I think it's okay to make it bigger. I'm gonna continue to shape until I finished all of it. While shaping my mantas, I remembered that in the city Kayseri, which is famous for its mantı, they are proud of making the smallest mantı in Turkey, which you can fit 40 pieces in one spoon. So I wanted to try that too and made 2 centimeter squares this time. They are very tiny, as you can see, and it's even harder to fill it with meat. But let's see how it's gonna turn out. And here we go. They are really tiny compared to other ones. And if you add just enough filling, you'll be able to still close it. And they look, of course, very pretty too. Here is the final look of 3 sizes of mantı all together. I have my second dough ready, and this time I'm gonna fill it with spinach. I cut 3 cm squares again, but since the spinach filling has more juice in it coming from the spinach, it was a little harder to close, to seal. And this time I just easily made triangles like this, as it is also the traditional shape for Tatar böreği, another type of mantı. And then I thought it's better to make even more bigger squares. For 4 centimeters, I continued to fill with spinach and filled the others with meat. And here my daughter Zeynep came to help me finally for closing the mantıs with meat, while I finished making the spinach mantıs. For the vegetarian filling, it's better to make it bigger, also tastes nice. So I suggest you to make it like so if you want to try, and squeeze as much as juice you can from the spinach. So I'm finished shaping my mantıs. Making sure it doesn't stick to the tray, you can sprinkle more flour. And actually the spinach one, since they are more juicy inside, needed more flour, especially if it's gonna wait until the serving time, dinner time. If it's gonna wait, just make sure to cover it. Since it will be too much for us, I'm gonna freeze some of them and want to show you how I do. Cover the tray with a freezer bag and then fill one layer and freeze. I'm gonna show you how it's gonna look later in the video. And now it's time to check if I can fit 40 mantı pieces into one spoon. I admit I used a little bigger spoon, but I was able to fill almost 40 pieces. And I think it's a still success, don't you think so? Now it's close to dinner time and I'm gonna boil my mantıs and enjoy. I have about 1.5 liter of boiling water, added some salt and olive oil, and just going to add my mantıs. Don't overcrowd the pan so they don't stick and cook nicely. Stir it a little and then boil for about 6 to 8 minutes until they come out on top. I'm gonna prepare my yogurt sauce while it's boiling, using homemade plain yogurt. Going to add some crushed garlic. It's optional, but traditionally we do use it. And mix it. And for the must-have butter sauce, in a small saucepan, melt 1 to 2 heaped tablespoons butter and sprinkle about 1 teaspoon mix of red pepper flakes and paprika. Either it can be sweet or hot, depends on your choice, and it's ready. Sometimes I make a mint sauce on top, which is same, just add dried mint rather than red pepper flakes, and it really comes out delicious too. So you can try both. My mantı is cooked also, and now it's time to serve it. You can always add more yogurt sauce and from the butter sauce on top while eating. I just finished serving it with extra dried mint and red pepper flakes on top.
Let's try it. I need a bit more heat, so I'm gonna drizzle more hot pepper flakes and a bit more oil. Delicious. The meat is cooked very nicely. There is black pepper coming out. So delicious. It just goes right away. So I'm gonna continue now and then cook the spinach.
I was trying the spinach mantı for the first time for you guys, for vegetarians. So I was curious about how it's gonna taste. And I can confidently say that it was way more delicious than I thought. It's similar to the one I eat in Kastamonu last year on my trip, filled with cheese, called piruhi. So you can definitely try, just make sure to squeeze out the juice from the spinach and make it bigger for easier shaping. Before I let you go, while showing the freezed mantīs, I would like to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And you can also support me with your comments, likes and shares. I would be very appreciated so I can reach to more people to show the beauty of our country, culture and cuisine. So thanks for watching. You can share your photos with me from my Instagram account Turkish Food and Travel. I hope to see you in another delicious Turkish food recipes and travel vlogs. Afiyet olsun.